Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Oh, the Illuminati. Welcome back to Illuminati, and today is an episode review on the show Loki, Journey into the Mystery. This episode starts off where Loki meets the other Lokis from the other universes. And I gotta say, it was interesting because Loki looked shocked that there were other Lokis alive in this void that they're in. Pretty much the void is kind of like this desolation type of place where pretty much there are like maybe destroyed timelines. So kind of what it looked like when I saw it, like it looked like destroyed timelines and also places that they have already kind of been that may have been destroyed. But in this episode, we also see Sylvie, female Loki, and Ravonna. Oh my God. Between the two of them, I thought Sylvie was going to kill Ravonna for a minute. There were like doubts in my mind. I said, Sylvie going to kill her? Sylvie going to kill her? Sylvie going to kill her? And apparently Sylvie outwitted her. Sylvie pretty much kind of stood her ground. She demanded to ask, where is Loki? And she's like, Loki's not technically dead. He's sent off to like this void. And the void is pretty much the end of time to some extent. And the thing is, he's either dead or alive. That's what Ravonna confirmed to Sylvie. And you can see Sylvie was kind of upset. Like, what? He could be dead possibly. And the thing is, Sylvie still doesn't touch Ravonna. Ravonna tries to manipulate Sylvie. Like, look, you know, let's work together. Sylvie wasn't buying it. Sylvie like, I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? You took off your buddy Mobius and everything. And you got B-15 pretty much, probably in questioning most likely. And she just ain't really feeling it. You know, I like how Sylvie was able to get the actual stick that kind of disintegrates people and send them to the void. Also, in this episode, we are introduced to 4 Lokis. Well, pretty much. And the first interesting thing about this episode is they're all male Lokis. We have Alligator Loki. I know that sounds crazy, right? Alligator Loki. We have Kid Loki. We have Black Loki. And we have Senior Loki. Yes, I'm calling him Senior Loki because he's an older Loki. In this episode, we understand why the Time Variant Authority is after these guys. Eventually, what happens is they explain what happened. Kid Loki succeeded. In his universe, he killed Thor. There's no brother. So in his universe, his brother's gone, which is very interesting. Also, I forgot Black Loki too, by the way. Black Loki as well. In the other universe, Loki pretty much outwits Thanos. Thanos thinks he's dead. He's very good with making his magic really look like it's really the real thing. So in that universe, he survived the Mad Titan. You know what I'm saying? And that was very interesting. So I'm like, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely interesting. Also, we have the Black Loki. Black Loki did something that the other Lokis didn't do. He killed the Avengers, so there is no Avengers in this universe. And he got all the Infinity Stones. Bruh. Black Loki is savage, y'all. I was like, dang, bruh. I was like, this man just like, hey, look, I did what y'all couldn't do. He killed his brother, the Kid Loki. The other one, you know, he pretty much tricked Thanos, the Mad Titan. He like, look what I did. Alligator Loki, yeah, I don't know. He doesn't really talk. He just, you know, it's like, yeah, maybe somebody put a curse or a spell on him. But it's funny because he has the little things on him. I thought that was really cool. But Senior Loki is the one that outwitted Thanos, if you guys are trying to figure out, like, who. But in this episode, they come together and pretty much they ask each other why they're here. Loki, the main Loki, not Sylvie, but the other Loki that we've been seeing in the show, he pretty much said, hey, look, guys, let's come together and get off this void. And the other Lokis are like, no way, we're not getting off this void alive, you know what I'm saying? Because if you really look at it, pretty much in this void, it's just like this cloud, you know what I'm saying? This cloud that consumes things. And it's like pretty much like whatever it consumes, it either rushes up and die or it kills things, living things. And like, who's surviving the cloud doing all that, bro? You know what I'm saying? But Loki is like, we gotta figure out a way to get out the void. He's like so persistent on Sylvie coming to rescue him. But I gotta say, Loki was onto something. Sylvie does eventually rescue Loki. But before that situation, we come across Mobius. I was like, oh my God, I was hoping Mobius survived. I said, bruh, Mobius better survive. And Mobius comes to Sylvie's aid. And, you know, Mobius is a little disappointed, you know what I'm saying? Because I guess he felt betrayed by Ravonna. Ravonna is just like very like crazy. Like she's really trying to like keep the TVA afloat, and she don't even know why she's even at the TVA, which is kind of crazy. Like, you're saving an organization that you don't even know the origin of it. You don't know the history of it, but yet you want to save this organization. Sounds insane to me if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to save it? You know? But we see Ravonna talk to the little clock emoji and get information on who created the TVA. It was a very lot of information. Also, there's a time thing that she could have got into, but they needed more information. The clock emoji's like, look, it's too much more information. I got to find out about it. It's kind of like a secret, I guess, like object that you could ride. I should say vehicle. But that was very interesting. But Ravonna also has a hostage. B-15. B-15 is like I'm not snitching. I'm not about to tell you anything else. She's like, and I love how B-15 is like, you still want to like be down with TVA and you don't really know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ravonna goes to negotiate with her. She tells the TVA cops like, hey, look, I need y'all out the room right now. I want to talk to her by myself. And B-15 said, well, she already took down the Time Lords. That was kind of her main purpose. You know what I'm saying? And we can see that B-15 was like, I'm not letting up. And I could see that B-15 said, the truth hurts. Not in that sense, but she didn't say it in that way. But you could tell B-15's like, you're curious too to know why the TVA is an actual place, of work. And, you're not curious. You know what I'm saying? She had, was talking to Ravonna and a conversation between the two. And you can see that B-15 was like, nah, I'm not selling myself out. I want to know what's really going on myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm a part of this organization that I know nothing about. And you think I'm going to go and keep working a regular job that I don't know nothing about, no information, no history, none of that? So B-15 is still locked up. Also in this episode, we see that there are other Lokis that are sent to the void and they conflict with one another, but the main Loki gets out of there. But eventually he comes across Sylvie and Mobius. And the thing is about Sylvie and Mobius, Sylvie has a plan to do something, whereas she can kind of like use her powers to figure out what's going on inside this actual destillated cloud that eats up everything, spits it out and chews it up and spits it back out. And Mobius said, he's going back to the Time Variant Authority. Mobius is seeming to have an open mind, like he's really ready to dismantle the TVA, the Time Variant Authority. And it makes sense because he doesn't know who's running the show. Neither does his buddy Ravonna. And it makes Ravonna mad that she doesn't know who's really the person behind it. But Mobius plans to dismantle the TVA. We see him go back in the time door to the TVA probably. And pretty much we see the Lokis kind of get a connection. They start to have feelings for one another. You know what I'm saying? Female Loki and male Loki, which I thought was really cool. I was like, oh, okay, they got feelings for one another, It's pretty obvious that you saw that. Like, oh, okay, yeah, they got feelings for one another. Also, in this episode, we see the elder Loki come back to help Sylvie and Loki. You know what I'm saying? Female Loki and male Loki. And he really is good at making illusions. I'm not gonna lie. He brings back Asgard as an illusion to trick this cloud that's pretty much destroying everything. And we see that he has some hope in Loki. The other Lokis are like, Black Loki was also a traitor to them. I forgot to mention that. But we see that the other Lokis are willing to help Loki. Kid Loki gave Loki his sword. Sylvie and him are working together. And they actually, once they use Sylvie's powers to get to the cloud, they find out that there's like some type of portal, a world inside the cloud. So I'm sure maybe the founder of the TVA is inside this cloud, or maybe this is some other type of entity that's in the cloud that may have been assigned to the TVA to do the bidding of it. I am not for sure, but this is my review on Loki episode 5. Have you seen the latest episode of Loki? And if not, guys, check it out when you get a chance. Until next time, guys, I am out.